Hi everybody, and welcome to our knee anatomy webinar. If you could just take a couple of seconds and let me know if you can hear my mic. Just go and hit your mood, give me the thumbs up. If you can't hear me, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. Right now it looks like we're okay. Everybody seems to be hearing me alright. Just real quick before we start, I wanted to point out over here in the chat box I have put a link that we will need here in a little while. We will be going and doing an activity. So just be aware that that's there, and we'll be coming back to that a little bit later in the presentation. But to start, if you guys could just tell me about any prior experience that you may have with knee anatomy, and it could be none, very little, maybe just a general understanding, maybe you have quite a bit, or have massive knowledge. And if that's the case, you know, hopefully this class will do you some good. But just take a few minutes, do that. Okay. We'll close the polling for now. I'll probably be putting up another one here at the end of the meeting just to get your thoughts and ideas on how this webinar went. But right now, I have something else I want to share with you guys. I have a PowerPoint of the bony anatomy of a knee. Let's go ahead and open that up, and here we just see an x-ray of a knee. And then let's just talk about the bones. 4 major bones make up the knee complex: femur, tibia, fibula, and patella. Femur is commonly known as your thigh bone. Tibia, which makes up your shin. And then you have the fibula, which is on the outside of your shin. It's not a very big weight-bearing bone, only bears about 15% of your body weight, but still very important in the knee complex. Then we have our patella, which is unlike the other bones in our knees because it is not connected to another bone via ligaments. Rather, it's held very loosely by your patellar tendon, and what that does, it gives it free rein to move in the femoral groove and over the tibial plateau right here. And if just to understand what I'm talking about, if you put your hand over your kneecap and extend and flex your knee, you might be able to feel your patella moving up and down. Next, just talk to you about the meniscus in the knee. You have 2 of them per knee. They consist of 2 fibrocartilage discs, a medial and a lateral meniscus. You can see that here in the diagram. It provides cushion and stability, a lot like a shock absorber would. It maintains space between the femoral condyle, or just the ends of the femur, and tibial plateaus. This diagram is showing us the tibial plateau. So this is the tibia here. The lateral medial meniscus sit on top of that, and just directly over that, the femur would fit right down on top of it, and it just gives us some space there and prevents the 2 bones from grinding together. And if the meniscus wasn't there and there was a lot of bone grinding, one can be sure to end up with a nasty case of arthritis. So these serve a very important role. Next, I want to talk to you about the ligaments. These do connect the rest of the bones in the knee complex. Here in the back, or posterior view, we can see all the ligaments here: the PCL, the ACL, and MCL and LCL. And just in case you're wondering what they stood for, I've put them all right here. The anterior cruciate ligament, the ACL, that's the common one. I think more people have heard about ACLs than they have heard about any of the other ligaments. It's the most important ligament in your knee. And here we have a front or an anterior view. It's very hard to see from the front view. That's why I wanted to give you the back view, so you can kind of see this little X the ACL and PCL make and see how they correlate with each other. Patella really hides that and the frontal view. And next, I just wanted to show you the one, how the ligaments can become damaged and the importance of them. And so let's just for a minute imagine this is the front of the knee and this is the back of the knee. The ACL keeps the femur from sliding forward, or what we call anterior translation, and the PCL does just the opposite. It keeps the femur from sliding backwards on the tibia, or posterior translation. And you can see here, these are the meniscus that fit between the bones, and whenever these bones slide, there's a lot of grinding, a lot of friction with that, and a lot of times that can cause tears on the meniscus, which is serious enough as it can result in a surgery to have that repaired. Also, wanted to come down and show you how the MCL and the LCL may be affected. Here, in both of these pictures, we're looking at an anterior view of a right leg, or so we're just looking at it straight on. And so you would have the MCL right here, and you can see when this becomes injured, there's a opening of the joint space. And this is particularly important because once your MCL weakens or it tears, the rate of tearing your ACL goes up tremendously. So very important to have your MCL to maintain your ACL stability. And here we have just an illustration of what it might look like if an LCL tear were to happen. Again, the joint space opens up. This is probably the rarest form of ligament damage in the knee, just because of the way the knee is constructed. Your knee gives so much easier going to the inside than it does to the outside. And just to give you a little bit of a demonstration, just a picture of what this might look like in sports and real life, we have here Navarro Bowman, a linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. This happened not too long ago in the AFC Championship game. And this knocked him out of the game, and essentially, well, they didn't make it onto the Super Bowl, but would have prevented him from doing that as well. And you can just see the knee bending in a very unnatural way. Obviously, knee's supposed to go front to back, not side to side. So this definitely left him with an MCL tear, very possible an ACL tear as well. Probably some meniscal damage going on there as a byproduct of all that. So that is the end of our PowerPoint presentation. And next I wanted to show you... Oh, excuse me, wrong thing. Next I want to show you a YouTube clip, very short clip, but I think it correlates well with what we just talked about. So let's see if we can get that running here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this thing muted and just sort of guide you through what's going on. Here we have all of our, just pause this for a second. Here we have all of our major ligaments represented, different colors. Again, you can see a little bit better with the joint spacing opening up. Obviously it doesn't look like that. This just gives us a little bit better picture for how it would look. See how they cross here, the PCL, and here's the ACL, MCL, LCL. And with that, we'll get this going again. So here's just a 3D model. It gives you all aspects. Here we see the MCL, and here's the back side of the knee. And as it rotates, we'll come to the LCL, or the outside part of the knee. And here's that patellar tendon that I was talking about that holds the patella on. And see, and this is just kind of what can happen. You see that movement with the knee. That's what the ligaments help to prevent. And so as we come in here and we'll increase the joint spacing a little bit, again, the ACL and the PCL, they just create an X and allow knee some rotation, but prevent it from turning all the way around. And also just take time to notice this is where the meniscus would also fit in there. So as the knee rotates, again, to give a side view, you can see how they interact and they correlate with each other as the knee goes through flexion and extension. And here's again, so now we have a tear of a ligament. You can just see the laxity and how much freedom the bones have to move about each other. So again, just stressing the importance of those ligaments and how they can protect you from serious injury. So that's just what I wanted to show you there. That's pretty much the end of the video. It's going to go on and talk about how what other tissues can be used for ACL repairs, and that's just something that we're not going to get into right now. So we'll close that. And real quick, let's go back over here to the link. If everybody can click on that. I know it's just a couple of us, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into a Google Docs where everybody can collaborate, and the idea here is to label each bone. It shouldn't take very long. Okay, good. It seems like everybody sort of gets an understanding, an idea of where the bones are at, what their name is, and that's pretty much it for now. The fact that you can just get the bony anatomy down, that's huge. So we can get out of that for now. We come back to the meeting, and the last thing that I want to do is to just if there's any questions at all, please feel free to ask, maybe here on the chat box, or if there's questions that you want everybody to be aware of, or maybe you're afraid that you'll forget what we talked about, always come to the notes section and just go to the shared public notes, and at the end of this thing, whenever we exit out of the meeting, they will all be sent out to you, so you can serve like as a study guide later, just so you can refresh yourself about what was discussed here in the meeting. And finally, I told you about that poll that I might be posting. I just wanted to get an overall consensus of how you thought this presentation went. I'll use your feedback to help add things to this presentation, or maybe get rid of some things that maybe we don't need, cut out the fat, if you will. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you guys for coming, and hope to see you guys in a webinar again. Thank you very much.